So today I'm joined by Louise Collins, oral health specialist here at the Rotherham NHS Foundation Trust. We're going to talk about all things sugar and put Louise's sugar knowledge to the test. So as the Weight and Health Management Coordinator, Louise, educating families and young people about the dangers of having too much sugar plays an important part of my job. So we talk about sugar providing energy, which we need, but having too much sugar can lead to the development of harmful fat, which is then stored in and around the body. It then can lead to weight gain, but also putting someone at risk of developing certain illnesses, certain cancers in later life, cardiovascular disease and diabetes type 2. Does educating families about sugar and the dangers of having too much sugar play an important part of your job?
Absolutely. There's a lot of information out there that we realise can be very conflicting and very confusing for families. So we try really hard to make sure that they're aware of what sugar can do to teeth, particularly when you're looking at some of the sugary foods that people are having, particularly snack foods, and also the sugary drinks that people tend to be sipping on regularly through the day, which obviously can be very damaging to teeth, causing things like tooth decay, so that people have to have fillings, and in the worst case scenario, even teeth out under general anaesthetic for children. And obviously this is going to cause them problems later on.
And some people might see that as a solution. So, having teeth out, they become decayed, filling teeth out. What's the problem with that happening at a younger age?
Yeah, I mean, really, we do need to avoid that happening because, one, it's not a very pleasant experience for anyone to go through, and it's definitely not a pleasant experience for our children, whether it's a filling or a tooth out. And generally with children, we have to go into hospital for general anaesthetic. And once they've lost those teeth, then basically it can affect the speech, how they look, so the self-esteem, so how they feel about themselves. They might hide the mouth a little bit because they've got teeth missing. But the other thing is baby teeth actually act as guiders, so they kind of help the space in for the adult teeth. And if we lose those baby teeth early, then the teeth on either side can collapse in, so you lose some of the spacing, and that can push the adult tooth when it comes through into a different position, and that can mean for some children braces later on.
So I get asked a lot of times, is it better to swap from white sugar to brown sugar to honey, dried fruit? We talk about sugars being the same. So you have too much of it, it leads to harmful fat, weight gain, and the problems we've talked about. We talk about me-sized portions when it comes to fruit and other foods as well. What advice do you give parents about alternatives and other healthy alternatives when it comes to teeth and sugar?
Sugar is sugar, basically the same as you've said. And if it is sugary, then really we need to limit it, and we need to make sure for teeth that we keep it to a mealtime. And like you say, we don't have too much of it. Like you've already mentioned, things such as dried fruits are very, very sugary, but also very sticky. So the fact that you've got a sugar product that sticks to the teeth really can be very, very damaging. And those kind of things, even though they have got things in there that will count towards the nutrition, we do need to limit them and keep them to mealtimes as much as possible. For us personally, dentally, we would prefer that people eat the whole fruit, not juice it, not put it into products, things like that. If it's not the fruit as it's meant to be, we treat it as any other sugar product, and that it can be damaging to teeth, and basically limit it, keep it to mealtimes as much as possible.
And I think that leads on to drinks. So, we look after a lot of children, young people who have drinks that have got a high sugar content in. They might look healthy on the packet, but like you said, they've got a lot of sugar in. So there's some ones there, there's a smoothie. So any guesses how many sugar cubes are in there, Louise?
Without looking at the label, which would be cheating because then I could work it out, I would say basically if you're looking at cubes, anywhere between 8 and 10 would probably be roughly what you're getting, something around the size of that.
And so there's 9 in there.
Right.
And when we think of ourselves as adults, the maximum for us is 7 sugar cubes in everything we have, and young people it'd be like 5 and 6. And then there's a popular drink soda there. Any guesses?
Yeah, probably again you'll be looking at probably around the same.
So there's actually 13 in there. Yeah. So you can see that you're having, for us, many days worth of sugar in one drink, and when it's warm you're going to have more drinks as well. So just to recap, So what advice and what support do you provide families when it comes to oral health, but also sugar as well?
Well, mainly I think we try to make sure that people use the proper sources to get their information from. So we would recommend Start for Life as a really good starting point for finding out more information around teeth. NHS Choices are also another good area to look at. We do have a Facebook page, so if you search 0 to 19, we very often put information on there. So if you like our page, you'll get obviously things popping up periodically around all topics, but also dental health as well. Children's Centre staff and also our staff are all trained around the basics in oral health, so they'll get a lot of information from staff. Just talk to people. But finally, don't forget dentists. Your dentist is a mine of information. Ask them, talk to them, and get what you need that's specific for you and your family. And if you haven't got a dentist, we really recommend that that's what you would do. Dentists now offer children fluoride varnish from the age of 3. And even though we talked about sugars today, brushing teeth is important as well. So it's both together. And one thing that the dentist can actually do is put the fluoride varnish on as well. And what that does is it basically reduces the risk of children developing problems with the teeth, like tooth decay, by about 44%. So we put the fluoride on in the morning with our toothpaste and again at night, but then the dentist will put the fluoride varnish on, which basically is a slow release varnish, which protects the teeth in the meantime. So really it is vital that everyone gets a dentist and basically make sure that they go.
All right, lovely, Louise, thank you. And so really we all need to be sugar wise and sugar smart.
That's it.
Thank you.